Hey everybody, and welcome back to This Tree and Me. I am CJR, and we are talking about grace and compassion for ourselves. It's been a very heavy learning on this for the last week or two over the course of this entire thing, but the last week or two it's really sank in, and I've gotten to understand a little bit more of what is going on within me, why certain things have started developing and uncovering in certain ways. And it's been a very good lesson in just what it's brought to me. I've really gained from it. So a couple things. One, I've got a little notebook here. I'm going to try to keep better track of what I'm talking about, making sure I don't miss certain things. I want to keep a promise to myself that I'm going to get more disciplined and better at this. So I'm going to keep trying to improve. The other one is, and this is funny about the self-grace. So this will be like take 4. Usually it takes me a couple maybe, but one, the audio didn't work properly, and the other one just is what it is. So I had to bring one of my candles up here that I'll explain the candle someday, but this one is for Coach Cory, and Coach Cory needs to be brought into this because I need a little bit of help. But the grace of it all, of take 4 and just pounding my way through it and giving myself the grace to be like, okay, I'm sure there's parts in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, actually, this will be 5 then, that I'll miss. That I've said it a certain way that maybe I don't say it that way at all, or maybe I say it differently, but self-grace, and that's okay. Compassion, it's okay. I'll be all right. I can do it again, I can do it again, and I can do it again. I'll get it right. So here we go. Self-grace and compassion, and I do apologize if I check down at the sheet every now and then. Again, just trying to get better and want to make sure that I'm efficient in getting through this. So let's start with everything comes from within. And the master key, if you will, to all of this is meditation. And as you guys, if you've been following me, you've known, and if you're new, welcome. And now you will know, meditation to me is the key to everything. It gives me every answer I need. It gives me the visions of, for visualization of what I want to achieve, where I want to go, what I want to be, how I want things to come out in life. Meditation just unlocks everything. It's an amazing practice to, one, begin, stay consistent with, believe in, and truly dedicate yourself to getting it. So, but love, grace, compassion, any of these things that you're trying to give to yourself, right? Understanding, go through all of them. But tonight we're talking about, and I'm going to say love a lot as well. I put compassion and love along the same line. So I will say love a lot as well. I will probably say the words a little bit overkill because I really want to drive them home. But until you love, until you show grace, and until you have the compassion for yourself, you cannot truly give it to others. It is impossible. You can give it to others, but again, the word truly, fully, wholeheartedly, you can pick any of them, and you truly cannot. If you do not understand how to do all those things for yourself, you can't do it for anybody else. And in the same reverse scenario, you can't receive true love, true grace, true compassion from others if you don't have them for yourself? I've thought of many different ways of describing this. And however, it comes through, I hope this works for you. It's a visual that I thought was fairly simple. But just imagine there's this big old water jug. And we are born with a full water jug, right? Well, at the bottom of this water jug is where we get water out, right? We let it out. For others, for us, we have a little spigot at the bottom that we constantly give it out. Okay, well, how does that get refilled? So, if you're waiting on others to refill it, what if you deplenish it quickly? Do they know what type of water? Do they know how to refill the water? Do they know how your water jug works? And all the answers to that is no, it's you. You are the only one who can fill that. You are the only person who can put that reservoir and keep it at full. When you are practicing self-love and compassion and you receive it from others, you can combine that, and that will make it better, right? That will allow a more fulfilling understanding, respect, gratitude of their love that they are giving you. When people show you grace, right? Which that's easier than any to give somebody else grace when they're not at their best or doing their best or hitting the mark that they want to hit. It's very hard for us to give ourselves that grace. But same thing, when they're trying to give it to you, if you have not given it to yourself, you're going to take it, but it's not going to be the same. Think of that part as the 5 love languages, right? Everyone has a certain way they like to be loved. Maybe multiple, obviously. I think it's a little bit of all of them, but that's another conversation. But when we don't love ourselves, when we don't show ourselves the compassion of being a flawed human being and giving ourselves grace, and we rely on others, that's great. But what if all of a sudden, they don't love me anymore. We fell out of love. They don't show me how much they love me the way they used to. All those things are just falsehoods, right? Nobody completes you. The whole saying of you complete me or you made me whole, absolutely not. You were born a whole human. You will leave a whole human. The experience of being whole, that is up to you. You have to make yourself whole. You have to keep that practice to make sure that you stay true to yourself. Nobody else can fill that for you. And that's where all that romance novel stuff and all that stuff comes from. It doesn't come from anywhere else but from you. When you have it and you understand it and you feel it, you will accept it in such a different way. Such a way of appreciation of, wow, somebody's got so much love, they're giving me some of theirs. Just like when you give it, you're gonna be so fulfilled inside of like, I have so much love that I can give others. I understand where they're coming from. I am going to give them grace and compassion and just understand that they are a human being and they can make mistakes, and that is okay. When you can't do that for yourself, eventually it's going to become the resentment of, why are they mad at me because I made this mistake, or they're not loving me, or I don't feel loved anymore, or anything like that. It's not healthy. Practicing self-love and any of the emotions to give to yourself is an everyday work. It doesn't ever quit. It doesn't ever stop. You need to fill your own cup up. And there's a motivational video that I watch in the mornings, and there's a lady on there that describes it as she has a teacup and a saucer, and she uses the word abundance. She describes it, there are very wealthy people, but they aren't abundant. And she describes it as abundance is, okay, my cup is full. Well, now it's overflowing. I can feed myself from the cup, and I feed you from my saucer. So if you think of it that way, I am giving myself so much love, and I love myself, and I give myself grace, and I give myself compassion. I have plenty to give others. And that's the reward of the work. That is the true definition of love and giving to others. You have to give to yourself first, though. It has to be real. You have to practice it. You have to be dedicated to it, faithful to it. It's not easy. It's a very difficult thing, because you're the person who got you in that situation. You're the person that you blame for whatever result or situation you're in. So you beat yourself up, but you give others the grace. And when you start giving to others and you give them any compassion and grace, you start deteriorating, right? It starts leaking. You don't have a reservoir that's full anymore. And it's not getting filled because you're not practicing it. So you're hoping that you get it back from others. And that's just not ever going to happen. If you always wait for others to give you what you feel you need and want, you could be wanting forever. You could absolutely just sit there and want and want and want and wish and this. Then resentment. You will resent others when you're really resenting yourself. Don't wait on something external to give you any kind of pleasure, joy, love, compassion, anything. Right? Anything that you want in life, anything that you want to achieve, anything that you want to become, comes from within. And it comes from you. You have to start it. Another big part that is very difficult in all this is forgiveness. Self-love and compassion, and especially grace, comes from forgiving yourself, forgiving your past, forgiving all the past, no matter if you did it or if it was done to you. To forgive it is the most healing process you can have. Again, you're not hoping externally that someone gives you that forgiveness. They forgive you for what you did to them. No, forgive yourself. You're a human. You're going to make mistakes. You're flawed. I'm flawed. Every human being is flawed. That's part of being a human. It's part of living in these bodies and walking this earth, to be flawed. And it's okay. And you're going to make more mistakes. You just have to find a way to be understanding and give yourself that grace to be like, okay, just try again. Do better, try again. Do better, try again. But forgiveness, as difficult as it can be, whatever's happened in the past happened. It can be, there's obviously things that can happen to you that just are brutal. Some of us have went through them. Others have, things that they've went through that may not hit that mark. But in their life, it's devastating. Right? It's not happening to you anymore. It's not what happened to me when I was young. It's not happening to me right now. Forgive it. It's over with. It's still in here. I won't ever forget it. It made me who I am. All the events of my life have made me who I am. And I appreciate every single one of them for the lessons they've taught me and where they brought me to today. But also, I I can find forgiveness and be okay and forgive myself for anything that I have done to others or actions that I have taken to myself and to others, to understand that that was a moment in my life. That's not now. And the future is yet to come. So my point is, if all you have is today, would you choose to be hateful and crude and mean if you knew you were going to wake up tomorrow and get hit by a bus? Would you? I don't believe so. I believe we would have the night of our lives. We would have the most beautiful time that we could possibly do. Money wouldn't be an option. We would do whatever we could to be happy and loved and feel loved and be loved. And we would do whatever we wanted for us. Whatever our true calling was, we would just go do it. Because there's nothing to fear. Right? Fear will stop you from all of this. Practice every day some form of self-love, compassion, and grace. Start little. Just find little things to win on, and you'll grow from that, right? It's a tremendous thing. The other thing that I've found, and it's really been apparent here lately, is boundaries. And I don't even know I'm setting them, but I am. Because we allow people to abuse us to the point that we abuse ourselves. If somebody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves, right? We all have that voice in our head. We all do a bunch of nonsense. Whatever level it is, you will allow people to meet that line and stay below, right on it. Once they break it, okay, well, I won't handle that. How do we lower that bar? Right? Bring that bar down. Find things to get rid of. Everyone says, oh, I want to be this, or I want to do this, or I want that. Okay. But is that going to get rid of the nonsense? No. We've all had something in our life where we wanted it so bad and we got it and then it was just over. Right? It made us happy for a glimpse. But it wasn't the answer. If so, there wouldn't be suicide. There wouldn't be so many travesties in life. Right? People who are rich and famous and have this and have that. Why are their relationships poor? Why are there suicides in those people? Right? Today, walking Kirby, a homeless lady, she saw the beauty in him and just talked to him, and I walked him up to her and she petted him and she didn't ask for a thing. She's homeless. What does she have to be happy about? Being alive. She's just happy to be walking the earth. And that just goes to show that you don't have to have anything but love for yourself to be happy. She may be without a lot of things, but for her to see that dog and to find love and joy in that, I'm hoping that sparked something in her, because it was just the most honest thing that I've ever seen. It was awesome. So the boundaries that I've been setting are mainly in conversations, because I'm really working on being better with my word, being more impeccable with my word. There's a book, The 4 Agreements, that I read. Some of you may have known this. Pretty religiously. I read it often. And to be impeccable with your word is just also to yourself. I already have enough nonsense going up here in my head. I don't need any help. So when people at work or friends are saying, hey, remember when you said this or you did this or blah, blah. When was the last time I acted like that? When was the last time I said something about that person? I constantly remind people, hey, whoa. When's the last time I did that? So why are you talking about this now? Or why are we talking about something from the past about people that, didn't want to play for me on my soccer team or this or that? Okay. And how does that affect me now? What's the negative talk bringing to us now? How's that helping? Why is that person choosing to throw that at me? That's within them, but I don't need it. They want to talk about it. Leave that in their head. I don't need it. So I just start stopping conversations like, whoa, no, don't want to talk about that. Or, yeah, no. Or I curve the story another way. And if they don't, I'll just say, look, again, when's the last time I said that? Or when's the last time that happened? Or X. So the boundaries of it all will help you greatly as well. So this week has been a particularly hard one. So as I progress and as I keep doing what I'm doing, and I keep trying to, just take another step up, do a little bit more content, reach out to more people, have more one-on-ones with people, whatever it is, right? I find challenges in it, and that's when the self-talk starts coming. There's always a reason not to go to the gym. There's always a reason not to go ground. There's always a reason not to wake up when I'm supposed to. Whatever it is, there's always a reason. That's never going to stop. But I love myself enough. I love myself enough to care about myself enough to show up every single day and do the best that I possibly can. And that's not an easy thing. That's very difficult. And I do fail. I fail at something every day. I don't meet a mark on something every single day. And that's where the grace comes in. I'm flawed. Again, I'm a human. I'm flawed. I make mistakes. So to have grace, to understand, to be okay with that. Like, dude, you're going to make mistakes. But when I look back of how far I've come, yeah, look at all the mistakes that I made during that, but look where I still am now. Okay, but I can't stop there, because if I only look backwards, I'm going to get egotistical and think I'm great and all this kind of stuff, and I made it. So I got to look up too. Hey, that's where I want to go though. That's where I want to be. Look at that mountain. Ooh, it just got steeper. I just hit another level. So you have to be able to look at both. They both have a value to you. But without grace, you won't be able to do that. You have to give yourself grace. It is as vital as anything, from courage to all of it. You have to give yourself the permission to make mistakes and fail. There's a massive difference between regret and failure. I'm okay to fail. I don't regret, right? I've made mistakes. But learning through all of this, they're moments in time. I'm okay. And I'm okay to move on and go forward. And we all have this in us. It's nothing that we weren't born with. We all have this innate calling within us that says, hey, you're built for this. You are put on this earth to do this. This is your path. This is your journey. But it's so scary. We're so afraid of failure. We're so afraid to fail or look bad or just be different. Going on a spiritual journey of healing and wellness at the age of 54, after some of the knucklehead stuff that I've done in my life, yeah, that looks pretty silly. I can understand probably how people view it. Nah, I don't care. Right? They can view it any way they want, because that is not who I am. That said, that same statement of, I don't care what people think about me. Yeah, I do. We all do. And we should. Because we should care about how we see ourselves. What we think of ourselves. If we don't care what others think of us, that means we don't care what we think about us. We need to take care of our fitness. We need to take care of our health. We need to take care of our mental. We need to take care of our emotional. We need to take care of our financial. It's a holistic journey. And that's where you find the people that they may have this, but they're super unhealthy in one way or the other. That's not the balance of life. So yeah, it's great that you achieved all this, but look how terrible the other parts of your life are. Right? I had to look at myself that way. Where am I today? What am I today? Did I live a life that I can look back on and be proud of? Am I making a difference in people's life? No? Okay. How do I make my stamp? What is my calling? And then give myself the grace and forgive myself for the past, and let the past be the past, and let it be the teacher that it taught me today. It's history. It's not now. So I can't tell you how much I hope for all of you to find forgiveness for yourselves in your past, and to find that compassion for yourselves, to understand you made mistakes, but it's not who you are. Those were just moments in your life. Onward and upward, right? Get over it, get on with it. Let's go. Okay? So I do want to talk about this week a little bit, just to give you a little bit more of hopefully a different perspective on some things that are, maybe this might sit and you might have something in your life that's similar. That if I didn't have this love and this, well, I know what I did in the past when I didn't have this kind of self-love, and I didn't have this grace for myself, and the compassion that I have, and the understanding that I am who I am. I'm working to get better. I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go, and I'm going to beat to that drum. So there's, we've talked about relationships in life, and there's several that I want to amend. I want to fix. They're broke. They're damaged. They're X. This one in particular, and all relationships, if they're with any other person, you have no control. All you can control is you, right? I know there's a lot of cliches, but it's very true. So getting mad, getting angry, getting passive aggressive, all those things, right? In the past, hey, look at me, I'm going to therapy now. Hey, look at me, I lost a lot of weight, I'm doing better now, right? Just to fall back into some other pattern or some other rhythm. So it makes sense that this is the same look, right? People see it the same. The people who have been in my life for a long time that have seen this pattern understand that, yep, just him again, just doing this. They're not inside me. They don't feel what I feel. So how can I get angry at them? Right? They are tied to an emotional part of my history. They are emotionally tied to my history because they have a history with me. I have to meet them where they're at, and I also have to meet me where I'm at. And if I can't meet me where I'm at, then I'm going to throw anger. I'm going to throw resentment. I'm going to throw passive aggressive nonsense, right? Well, hey, can't you see that I'm getting better? Why, blah, blah, right? Then I'm going to go tell this person the story. Well, hey, this person sees it and they're believing in me. Well, this person's not. None of that matters. And that's very difficult. Extremely difficult. Because I want them to see what I see. I want them to know what I know. Because I love them. And I truly want them in my life. But I also have to understand that I have such faith in what I'm doing. And I've already seen it work in so many different ways. That as long as I'm breathing and they're breathing, there's the opportunity. And all this week I've been writing about it. Right? And it's the craziest thing. I've been writing, and I got, I need to do more of this. I'm not doing this enough. Blah, blah, blah. I need to make better content, more content, do this, do that. And then almost instantly after all of that, it's, recognition of what I've done and where I've come from. So without even consciously doing it, because when I write, I just go. I've trained myself to just write, not reread, not all that. I reread it before I do this just to get to where my mind was for the week. Because I'm typically writing on or trying to stay in the topic for the next episode. And it was just amazing to read back and see, like, I was so back and forth. Bad, and then, hey, bud. Bad, and then, dude, you're doing fine. It was really cool to see. And then I got to today. And so today, Kirby doesn't know it's daylight savings time, my dog. He doesn't know it's the first freeze of the year in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's flipping cold. He doesn't understand any of that. All Kirby knows is, hey, dude, every morning after you go meditate and do all that kind of stuff, he knows my rhythm. And he starts like instantly knowing when it's time to go walk, man. It's time to go walk, man. So I'm sitting there making all this stuff in my head. And I woke up a little extra early today. Again, daylight saving time probably had something to do with it. I have no idea. Just woke up. So I just went through and started early. And I wrote. And I wrote page after page after page. And finally I just looked down and said, man, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that I need to do this for me. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not doing this just for me, that I'm doing this for you because it makes you happy and it helps you become the best little puppy you can be. He's not a puppy, but he's just happy. So happy now. We've talked about this, right? It's awesome to see. So go out. This is where when I saw the homeless lady as well, but freezing, stinking cold. Just put extra clothes on, man. Go out. The sun's out. It's bright. It's beautiful as far as that's concerned. Listen to your walking motivation and go. And it ended up being phenomenal. So when I get back in, go through my day, I go to the gathering place, I do my normal stuff, and I get home and I start reading. And I get to today. And I'm really deep in my feels right now. Like before I went to the gathering place early, because I sent a message out and no response. And sorry. Wow. So no response. And it's really starting to bother me. And my heart is just, it hurts. It hurts. Again, talking myself through it, dude. It's where it is. Just be okay. Breathe. Meditate extra. Breathe. Do all this. So it's like, all right, dude, I'm going to go. Just get up, go to the gathering place, do my walk, do my grounding there, go through all that. Heart just up and down. Eventually by the end, I'm starting to feel better. My mind's starting to get into a much better place. Starting to really understand, like back in the day, I would have just stopped. I never would have even got this far. I find myself, not just today, but other days when my mind's heavy, I push myself harder at the gym or harder when I'm working out or when I'm walking and doing different things. It helps me get it out. It costs something. It costs my energy. It costs my effort. It costs my sweat. If you want things in your life, it's going to cost you something. Part of that motivational listen that I do in the morning when I walk, there's a guy who says, winning will cost you everything. It will reward you with so much more, but it will cost you everything. And I get it, right? Yeah. But is that everything what you want? Is that everything what you need? But it's still, you're tied to it. Some of the everything you've had for a long time, you really told a lot of stories to make it look a certain way. You're really tied to those stories and that. So yeah, it does cost you. All of this costs something. But the rewards are just beyond beneficial. So anyhow, I get home and I start reading. I get to today, I'm making my notes. And I get to today, and I'm right, and I mean big words and this and it hurts and right. So throw in some big exclamation points of probably words I'm not going to use on this, obviously. And then I go to, this is an opportunity to prove to yourself, right, that you can do this, you can do hard things, that you can show yourself the grace that's needed. And I'm just writing all this, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, but it still hurts. And then I go through that, and it's like, then I come back to it. Eventually it was funny. It just like when I was walking today, the heart feeling, the words just got softer to the end to where it's like, I'm blessed to have this opportunity to learn. That was pretty much my last statement of the morning writing. Just talking through it, just working through it, just meditating through it, just doing all the practices through it. Showing myself compassion, showing myself grace that, yes, that's our history, that's our past, that's what they know and that's what they see. You have no control over anything else. The only thing you can control is showing up every day for yourself to make yourself a better person, love yourself, and truly just live this life. If they see it, and you've got to make it to where it's undeniable. People will sniff out your fake. It's very easy to see unauthentic. We know that. We understand seeing it and seeing it in ourselves. And I just have to have faith that I'm doing the right thing. That one day, as long as I don't quit and give up, as long as I continue the work, as long as I continue to tell myself how proud of myself I am, how much I love myself, and provide the grace to say, dude, you're going to make mistakes. Just keep going. You're okay. Just get through this next hump. Get through that next fear. Fight through that next battle. You're okay. And the thing is the more you do that, you understand that winning mentality. You understand that mechanism in your head now. Oh, okay. It's just fear. I'm just afraid to fail. I failed how many times? We failed ever since we were born at something. It's not like we got out of the womb and just, hey, we're making millions and we're walking and driving and all. No. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. And once you see it start working, it will change you in such a way that you don't want to unsee it. You will start setting the boundaries, and you will start having compassion for yourself to where you'll start getting rid of things that don't suit you anymore, that will reward you in ways that you never expected. You might be chasing something thinking, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. And this over here is holding you back from truly getting it, but you just don't know it. So if you just start eliminating the things that you don't want in your life anymore, that don't show you respect, that don't give you value in your life anymore, that don't provide compassion for you anymore, just start getting rid of those things. Everything else just kind of starts coming into place. Every time you shed a little something else appears for the positive, and you just keep shedding and shedding. That's a lot easier than saying, I want that. Okay, well, how do I get that? How do I become my true self? You know what? I don't know how to get to that. But I know if I keep lying to myself or talking poorly or doing these actions, I'm definitely not going to become my true self. That is 100% guaranteed. Right? Just like eating right and exercising. We know 100% that if you eat right and exercise, you're going to be a healthy person. Your health benefits are going to be beneficial 100% of the time. And we also know the opposite side of that. So again, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, why would you choose anything but self-love, compassion, and grace? Understanding, pick them all, right? it's just been, it's amazing that I can look at things this way now. It's undescribable that I'm able to be okay with not getting a certain outcome on something and just being not tied to the results of it. Right? Whatever happens in these relationships, that's what was meant to be in this world. As long as I'm doing the best that I can, loving, being empathetic, showing my true self, being honest to myself, for myself, that's all I can do. And when they're ready, they'll be ready. And I promise you, when they're ready, I'm ready. And that's all that I can do. So that is my everyday life. Learning and understanding all of this. But the biggest part of it all is also breathe, Cory. You're going to be okay. It is what it is today. That doesn't mean that's what it is forever. Give yourself grace. Right? The grace boundary is a massive one for me. Give myself grace. I don't beat myself up. Give myself grace. And then show the compassion through that grace of failure to understand that it's going to happen again, but you will get good at it if you stay consistent with it and love yourself through it all. And once you give all that, it just starts pouring out of you and people recognize it, people see it, and hopefully you help them. And that's where I come to, like, I've really struggled with, and this is another reason I lit the coach candle before this to help me get through this one, is I didn't know what I really wanted to call this, what I wanted to be, what I wanted to see myself as. And I don't like labels. I try not to label myself anymore. Everyone's like, well, life coach or this. And it's like, it just doesn't feel right. So I am a coach. I love training. I love teaching. I love helping others. I've always have. That's why I've coached so long. That's why in certain jobs I've always been a trainer. Like, I just enjoy that. I really do. And this journey for me is a wellness journey. So I'm a wellness coach. That's what I want to be. That's what I strive to be. That's what I'm called to be. And in order to be that, I need to be a wellness coach to myself. So I've embraced the coach label because it had a negative context to me for many different reasons. A lot of good out of it, I promise you that, but I don't want to be remembered as the coach. The coach was loud, the coach was this, the coach was that, coach was competitive, blah. Okay, but now the coach is loving. Now the coach is caring. Now the coach is all that he did show, but that's how he coaches full time now. And that's what he wants to give to other people. And I've already started doing one-on-ones with people. And I'm really enjoying it and I'm loving it. And it's helping me so much. The lessons that I'm learning through them is phenomenal. I'm not showing them anything they don't already know. I'm just helping them. I'm just guiding them, giving them tools, asking questions, just being a coach. That's it. And I've embraced it. And I'm enjoying it. And that said, so there's going to be some few things coming up. I'm getting ready to start the newsletter. So I'm going to have a sign up on my website, which is CoryJRiggs.com. Check out my YouTube. My website has all the links, but my YouTube, my Insta, and my TikTok are all at Cory J. Riggs. That's where I post all this stuff. I don't use Facebook for this. I use that for my regular life, my personal life. But those are the platforms that I use now. And then, like I said, the newsletter is going to be coming up. I really just want to just help in any way I possibly can and just share everything that I've been learning. And hopefully, by me helping others, then those others can help others and others to others, and so on and so on and so on. Because the world needs it. We need a lot more love in this world. And that starts at home. That starts with each one of us loving ourselves, showing that compassion for ourselves, and giving ourselves the grace to understand that we are flawed human beings. We have made mistakes. We will make mistakes. It's how we move after them. It's how we handle ourselves beyond the mistake, and what we use that mistake to get better, to grow, to learn, and to help. I hope in all of this that I give everybody something different to think about, right? I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be, this is the way you got to do things. I want to help you find your way. I want you to become the best person you can be, whatever that calling is. I want to help you find that calling. I don't want to tell you what your calling is. I don't want to tell you how to get to your calling. Everybody's journey is different. I use meditation, spirituality, grounding, because I want to be a more spiritual being. That's kind of my calling, right? I even dressed up as Halloween just to play a little fun for my buddies and friends that went out with me. I wore a monk suit. It was phenomenal, and they got the joke, just poking a little bit at me, like, "Hey, you guys want to throw darts? I'll throw darts at myself." Yes, it's funny for me to be a holy man. That's what I feel. It makes me happy. And I want to be happy. So you believing in it, you thinking this or that about it, has no effect on me, because I feel it and it makes me happy. So I'm going to continue being my true self, no matter how it appears to the world, because it appears perfectly fine to me. And I am loving every minute of it. So I hope that I can help you find your way. And that is my whole intent in this. My intent is not to make you a millionaire. It's not to make you this. It's not to make you that. It's how do we find that wellness inside of you? How do we bring that inside you so you can then listen to what is telling you that you should be doing? That's what I want for everybody. That is my intent. That is my goal. And doing that for myself is teaching me the muscle skills, the tools to use, the ideas to have, the ways to look at things. And hopefully by me sharing with you, you think of things a little bit differently and maybe have a little moment of whatever catches your ear, whatever makes sense. Like something's going to hit. Just like when I listen to others. Sometimes not everything Jay Shetty or Andrew or whoever I'm listening to hit every single time. But there's certain ones that just like hit me hard and it's like, oh, dagger in the heart. Yeah, I get that one. Thanks. Right? Just kills. But I get it. I needed to hear it. I needed to feel that. Right? I need to sit in that discomfort because that's the only way we get better. Everything costs something. So, again, please share. Please comment. Keep sending me the messages. That's been growing. I've really enjoyed that. It's weird to me getting messages and stuff from people I've never met in my life, but it's something I'll get used to, and I love it, right? My feedback and my interaction back, I'll get better at it. So just keep doing it. I appreciate every one of you. I'm absolutely grateful for this opportunity to sit here in front of this camera and talk to you guys. I hope that I can do it in more live settings. I am going to start going out to local events here around in Tulsa, open mics and stuff, and I'm going to start storytelling. Gonna start doing my job, right? This is my calling. It's my job. I got to treat it like that, and I just got to go do it. And it scares the living hell out of me. But so did this, and now we're on episode 6, and so many different contents later, and thousands of views, and I've hit so many different marks that I'm grateful, and I appreciate everybody who's going along with me in this journey. So if it's helped you in any way, I am grateful and blessed to be a part of your process. So, again, I'm CJR. This is This Tree in Me. Today was self-compassion and self-grace. And I hope in some way that I helped you look at it a little differently and want to seek it out a little bit more. I love you all. Be blessed.